the day is ending. It's still December 5th, 1492. So depending if you were a boy or a girl, you would engage in different activities during the day. And by now, you're probably tired. So we know that the Taínos did not have a set schedule for eating. It's not like us that we have breakfast, lunch, dinner, etc. They ate when they were hungry. But we do know that they would go home to their specific boil, where up to 20 people lived. One of the biggest ones was noted to have about 20 people, so 5 to 6 generations of people. That meant that you knew who your great-great-great-grandmother was, at least. So there was a sense of identity and of belonging. So you probably had your own hamaca, where you slept. Maybe your mom would squeeze in your tao, your brother or sister, in your hamaca, because your bibi, or your mom, was taking care of el Chichi. So outside, it would look like this. Moon, or noon, was clearly visible. But sometimes when there's too much noon, you can't see Turi, the stars. The moon is very powerful and a very powerful sight in the Caribbean night. And it was very easy to see the phases of the moon. And to this day, si estás en el campo, tú ves muy claramente la fase de la luna. So they actually had a lunar calendar that would let them know when to plant certain plants. So each phase of the moon was a different plant that they planted. So they would plant yuca, maíz or corn, algodón. So sarobe was algodón or cotton. Ajes, which are sweet potatoes, batatas. And they would also plant other fruit trees. They would especially plant ajís, which was included in most of their food. This was their main spice. So this was a systemic gardening. And so they also had the farmland. They had small personal gardens as well. But their main crop was la yuca. That was their main crop. And they planted it in a certain way. So I couldn't find a better example, but this is an example of how they would plant and use the different shapes of the earth for their purposes. So we have in the flatter side over here, we see different palms, fruit trees, and then here in the middle, this is how they would plant yuca in montones. So it was like a little hill, and that made it easier to access the roots. They used a special stick called the koa to make the different indents in order to plant the seeds for their produce. So it's believed that both men and women participated in planting and harvesting. It was a big event.